time to say goodbye to the Miz. Goodbye, Miz. It was a nice 1 week title reign. WWE seems to be in correction mode coming out of Monday Night Raw tonight after the abysmal creative decision to put the title on a comedy character. Bobby Lashley has come to collect. It's not really my ideal situation going into WrestleMania, but it's better than The Miz. We're going to talk about what WWE more than likely is doing and what I feel they are thinking about for WrestleMania. Other than that, this show was a complete disaster. Every bit of this show was a complete waste of time. If you watched Monday Night Raw for the last 8 weeks, you missed nothing. Nothing. All rematches. Nothing fresh at all. But WWE fans think that this is the way WrestleMania build should be. Guys, we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to break this thing down on the Monday Night Raw post show. Plus your Raw news and rumors coming out of the chamber right here on Off the Script.
This fucking foliage? Is this what you want? Mr. Dips? Is this what you want? Me standing in front of EC3 buying designer coats? Is this what you want? Me sitting in some hipster hotel in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, fluffing pillows? Is this what you want? I don't believe this. This graffiti art, the hotels, avocado toast. All I want is a fucking Guinness. An ice cold Guinness. What the hell does that mean? Oh, this is what you wanted. This is your Monday Night Raw review right here on Off the Script.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for February 22nd, 2021. I already got a bullshit troll. There you go. I know my mods are going to take care. Cole Swenson, get the fuck out of my chat, geek. That's why the mods are there, man. They're being paid the big bucks. Fuck out of my stream. Thank you guys so very much for joining me right here on Off the Scripts, February 22nd, 2021. I'm in some mood. I don't know whether I'm in a good mood or a bad mood or an indifferent mood. This show sucks. This show is absolutely garbage every single week. But my God, man, the road to WrestleMania in 2021 may be the worst I have ever seen it, man. There really is no creativity. There's no ideas that are ideas. You know when you get ideas and you kind of know that someone's been planning something and they're watching all of their hard work and planning just be put into motion and you see it just being spelled out over weekly television? I feel like WWE really doesn't know what the fuck they're doing next week. They'll get to next week's Raw. They'll write the show about 6 p.m. and then they'll worry about what they're doing on a week-to-week basis for the next 6 weeks, just like that, operating like that. They probably don't even have fucking WrestleMania in pencil yet. It's fucking March. In 1 week, we'll be in March, and WWE has not one fucking plan for WrestleMania outside of Reigns and Edge, which I don't think is the right idea anyway, but that's all they got. That's all they got. You know, last night, WWE fans were rejoicing that The Miz won the WWE title. Now, these people, they have the IQ of a fucking empty can of soda. This is well known to everybody. Casual wrestling fans are the dumbest fucks you'll probably find walking God's green. Now, I am not a casual fan. I am so much more intelligent than everybody watching this fucking show right now. I mean, give me a break. There's a reason why I'm in front of this microphone and you're behind your computer screens fucking hate watching me. Not everybody in my chat. The people that are here to support me, you guys are just as intelligent as I am. I've taught you well. But the casual wrestling fan, after Elimination Chamber, they just came out of their fucking caves to rejoice that The Miz won the WWE Championship. Now, I don't know who, with a functioning brain, thought that this was the WWE Championship or the WWE Champion that we all deserve going into WrestleMania. I'm going to blow you guys away with something that I've uttered on this very show. I've said this about Kenny Omega. I've said this about Jon Moxley. I've said this about Roman Reigns. I've said this about everybody that's held the championship. I even said it about Drew McIntyre. Okay? I am glad none of you run a fucking professional wrestling company or a combat sport promotion. I'm glad none of you do that, and I pray to God that none of you will ever be in the business, okay? When someone is at the level of a Roman Reigns, for example, okay, and you're going into the biggest show of the entire year for your company, when you have someone on the level of a Roman Reigns, and he's performing at the level that he's performing right now, which is fucking planets above everybody else. When you have someone like Roman Reigns, and he comes to work every single day, and somehow, magically, I don't know how, gets better every single week, and the act just grows every single week, and his performances grow every single week and get better every single week, why would you even discuss taking said Universal Championship off of Roman Reigns? Why would you go and do that? Now, I'm not saying that Roman Reigns should be the Universal Champion forever. But I'm saying, when Roman Reigns is performing at this level, and you have not one single person on that roster that should even be in discussion to take that title off of him, when you have not one single person that is even in the same state that he's in, there's Roman Reigns and then there's everybody else. When you have someone like Roman Reigns at the top, and you have absolutely nobody even close to where he is at the top, then that means you shouldn't be making anybody else a fucking champion until someone else comes along, or you do your jobs as producers or agents or fucking management to build somebody up to get that person on the level of a Roman Reigns. Until that happens, then Roman Reigns should never lose the fucking Universal Championship. I said that about Reigns. I said that about Omega. I've said that about Moxley. I've said that about McIntyre. At one point or another, I said that about Rollins too, but, I mean, he was just a complete fucking disaster. Until you develop a guy, someone, to come along and is at the same level that could potentially be an equal to someone like Roman Reigns, then we can be in discussion about possibly taking the Universal title off of Roman Reigns. Did WWE have that on Monday Night Raw? The answer is no. It wasn't Styles, it wasn't Lashley, it wasn't Strowman, and it certainly wasn't the fucking Miz. This is what I don't get about the casual fucking brain-dead idiots on social media. If you just listened to every word out of my mouth and said, yeah, man, you're right, then that's the end of discussion. I don't know how anybody could be running a wrestling company going into the biggest show of the year and you're there thinking that The Miz is the best guy on your roster to win the WWE Championship on the road to WrestleMania, I don't know how anybody could conceive such a fucking disastrous thought. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're clearly not for the promotion. You're clearly not for the betterment of WrestleMania. I don't know what the fuck you're for. Honestly, all these people that came out and celebrated The Miz winning and saying The Miz deserved it, like, where the fuck were you all year? Did you even watch the goddamn fucking show? None of you watched the fucking show. You only came out yesterday because you all knew it was a fucking terrible decision, and all the people that said it was a terrible decision, all you did was troll, said terrible decision, and claim that it was right. That's all you did. There's no fucking way anybody thinks that this promotion needs The Miz as WWE Champion, that you should be making him the WWE Champion, that he's the best you have on the road to WrestleMania. You are a complete fucking idiot. Right there, dead. No combat. Nobody could refute anything I just said. Now, granted, The Miz, I don't know where they're going with any of this, okay? First of all, I would have never executed said creative plan last night. I thought it was awful. First of all, the guy, listen, all these people celebrating his win, you do realize he lost the Money in the Bank briefcase, right? He was gifted the Money in the Bank briefcase. So if you are celebrating The Miz winning the WWE Championship at Elimination Chamber, you're actually also celebrating the death and demise of the Money in the Bank concept. Because he lost the Money in the Bank briefcase at TLC. He was never even in the fucking Money in the Bank ladder match. Otis won the briefcase. And by the way he won it, it was a fucking disgrace right from the word go. So Otis won it. Miz won it in a match against Otis. Miz lost the briefcase, was gifted the briefcase back on some fucking bizarre bullshit technicality, and then he cashes it in. But what happened to The Miz in between all that I mentioned? He was feuding with Otis. He was feuding with Mandy Rose and Otis, and he was feuding with Heavy Machinery. He was feuding with Big E and New Day. He was in a 2-on-1 handicap, by the way, where Braun Strowman destroyed both Miz and Morrison in a fucking handicap match for the WWE Championship, or Universal Championship, rather. I'm sorry, this was on SmackDown. Then he got moved to Monday Night Raw. And he was in some of the worst segments that Monday Night Raw has produced, all in 2020 and even into 2021. He was a part of the lowest rated segment on Monday night this year with Drew McIntyre. Handicap matches to Drew McIntyre, losing to Drew McIntyre, and handicap matches with John Morrison. But this guy, to the geeks, he deserved to win the WWE Championship. You know when The Miz should have won the WWE Championship? When he was feuding with Daniel Bryan after cutting that great promo on Talking Smack before they fucking canned it the first time. That's when he should have been the WWE Champion, not now. But you're celebrating him winning the championship now because everybody else hates the idea, and you know that everybody that hates the idea is right. I think I uncovered everything that happened in the community in the last 24 hours. Now, I will say this. The Miz, looking back at it, it's not that I'm angry that The Miz won the WWE Championship. I think it's fucking awful. The fact of the matter is, if you think this guy's the best you got, to put the title on him, that's mistake number one. Mistake number two is the way you've treated Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre might not be everybody's cup of coffee. I know there are people that don't like Drew McIntyre. I know that there are people out there that think Drew McIntyre is fucking boring. I can see why. But he led this company in the middle of a pandemic. The guy got fucked over from having a WrestleMania, a lifetime moment taken away from him because of COVID. He had to do WrestleMania last year and win the title against Brock Lesnar in a fucking empty gymnasium. And he led this show and showed up to work without bitching or complaining to anybody to carry this piece of shit show every fucking week. That's what he deserves? That's what you think Drew McIntyre deserves. I don't give a fuck if you hate him, love him, indifferent towards him. If you don't like him at all, you don't know who he is. I don't give a fuck what you think. The fact of the matter is, the guy busted his fucking ass. And that alone deserves recognition and credit. Another reason why I didn't like this shit is because WWE rolled out the red carpet for Drew McIntyre to beat Brock Lesnar. And yeah, he lost the title somewhere in between to Randy Orton. But that was another bizarre technicality. I don't know why that happened. But you roll out the red carpet to get this guy a match with Brock Lesnar, have him beat Brock Lesnar, ultimately to lose the title going into this year's WrestleMania against The Miz. So you put him over Brock Lesnar to ultimately have him drop the title in this type of fashion to The Miz. The Miz. So not only did you ruin his momentum, not only did you put a huge fucking red flag in the road to WrestleMania, but you gave one of the biggest jobbers in the entire company the WWE Championship over a guy that should have never lost the championship. And the only reason why WWE is doing what they are doing now is because they have not one fucking clue. They didn't want the briefcase on The Miz. They had to give it back to The Miz because this is their product of bullshit. They are so creatively inept and creatively bankrupt that look at all the confusion that they're causing. You think that it's unpredictable television. It's not. It's a company that doesn't know what the fuck they want to do. All they had to do, I laid it out for you. If Edge was going to win the Royal Rumble, all you had to do was have Edge challenge McIntyre and Bryan win the Chamber and challenge Reigns. Why was that so difficult? Now look at where we are. You got Edge and Reigns on SmackDown. McIntyre was nowhere to be found tonight, which worries the fuck out of me because I think he's going to interfere in the match next week and The Miz is going to retain. I hope to God not. I hope to God not. But look at Monday Night Raw's side to the road that is WrestleMania. You take my ideas, which would have kept the Chamber importance intact, would have given Drew McIntyre a quality fucking opponent and a quality storyline, while also rounding out WrestleMania as a whole, where you would have the top three matches as Drew McIntyre, Edge, Reigns, and Bryan, Sasha, Bianca, Rhea, Asuka versus Charlotte. You want to do fucking triple threat? God, by all means, go ahead. I mean, folks, there's a reason why I'm in front of this microphone and have one of the most successful podcasts in the entire YouTube wrestling community. I'm not some fucking pushover. I'm not some shill. I give it to you like I see it. I give you the fucking facts, okay? Most of the time, my opinion is fact. WrestleMania looks like shit after WWE pulled this Miz stunt on Sunday night. Trash. Look at how much damage they've caused. Now that I got that out of the way, I look at this Miz situation on Monday night. I swear to God, I tried my best to go into it with a fucking straight head, with a clear head. I'm watching the Miz come out tonight, and I'm thinking to myself, listen, you know, the Miz is an awful wrestler. I think we all know that. His offense is some of the worst in the entire company. But man, can the guy talk on the microphone? He is an incredible promo when he wants to be. There was once upon a time where I was a big advocate for The Miz. Everybody knows that's been watching me, man. I was a big advocate for The Miz when he won his first WWE Championship. I remember where I was and what I was doing. I was in bed. I popped out of bed like a fucking smart mark when he won the title. I thought he was the fucking best thing in the entire company when he won his first WWE Championship because it was so different. He was not supposed to win the title. That's why I loved it. I went into this with a straight head. Listened to this guy cut a promo. Awesome promo to start the show. And I'm thinking over what happened here. I see Lashley come out looking like a fucking mobster in that white suit he was wearing. He's cutting a decent promo. Bobby Lashley was never good with words, but he cut a decent promo against The Miz. And he says he has till 9 o'clock to give me what I want, Otherwise, there's going to be fucking bloodshed. So we gave The Miz till 9 o'clock to make a decision. And I'm thinking where WWE is going with this. And it became more and more of a reality that I think everybody was worrying for no reason. WWE didn't give the title to The Miz to walk into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. That's not happening. WWE gave the title to The Miz because they didn't know what the fuck to do with the Money in the Bank briefcase and the WWE title because of their own bullshit political agendas. They left Reigns and Edge as the top priority without giving McIntyre a solid plan on Monday Night Raw because he literally ran through everybody. So now WWE was forced to do what they did on Sunday night, and I'm thinking, The Miz is not going into WrestleMania as the world champion. So at the end of this show, we got Lashley and Miz. That is the match for next week. And barring any fucking Drew McIntyre interference here, Bobby Lashley is going to be the new WWE champion. I'm pretty certain of that. I hope it doesn't end up where Drew McIntyre comes back and he helps Bobby Lashley. Why would Bobby Lashley need help to fucking beat The Miz? I hope it's not a situation where Drew McIntyre comes back and he claymores The Miz to give the big fuck you to Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley was the one who really facilitated this thing with MVP to make all of this Money in the Bank briefcase cash-in happen. I hope that's not the case. I hope that is not the case. Then that would mean more than likely we get a match at Fastlane between Lashley and The Miz, and then Drew McIntyre gets his match with Lashley at WrestleMania. That's boring. That's not the way I would go about it at all. So what I'm thinking here is WWE gave the title to The Miz to have a 1-week title reign, and Lashley's going to win the title next week. And if Lashley wins the title, which he should, that would give him enough time to build to a match with somebody. I don't know who it's going to be against. Maybe against Strowman. Maybe against The Miz again. I have no idea. But I would not give Lashley the title victory at Fastlane. It happens next week. WWE has 1 week to make this right. 1 week. If Bobby Lashley does not win the title next week, this has seen its expiration date. It's too long. Bobby Lashley wins the title next week. It gives him enough of a title reign to build to Fastlane and build in between Fastlane and WrestleMania to a match with whoever WWE has in mind at WrestleMania. If WWE waits till Fastlane to have Lashley win the title, that leaves him 2 weeks to build a title match with somebody. That's not WrestleMania. That's not very WrestleMania-esque. It's not the way I would do it. You give him the title next week and you fucking end this bullshit and move on. The Miz can go and do what he's got to do with fucking Bad Bunny and Damien Priest. So what happens when Bobby Lashley wins the title? Is it going to be a situation with Drew McIntyre getting an immediate match against Bobby Lashley? Is that going to be the match they're building towards? Drew McIntyre is just not going to come back and claim ownership of a title shot. Something has to happen between that for Drew McIntyre. Keep in mind, Sheamus won the gauntlet match. Sheamus pinned Drew McIntyre while he was still the WWE Champion in order for Drew McIntyre to get another shot at Bobby Lashley instead of coming back and doing these bullshit rematch clauses, which they've done away with. Sheamus pinning Drew McIntyre means that Drew McIntyre now has to show management that he has to beat Sheamus at Fastlane in order to get a title shot. So I would not have Drew McIntyre come back and automatically get a WWE Championship against Bobby Lashley. And then nobody else is in discussion. It's going to be Drew McIntyre, Sheamus at Fastlane, and then McIntyre could be added to the WWE title match. But I don't think WWE is going to go with just Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley for the WWE title. I think that's too boring. I said it on Sunday. I'm going to say it here again. No matter how good Bobby Lashley has been booked, that's not a WrestleMania WWE Championship match to me. Now, their match back in 2020 was not bad. It actually surprised the shit out of me. But I don't really see that as a WrestleMania WWE Championship match. That's good enough for like a Clash of Champions or a Backlash or one of those fucking D-level pay-per-views. Not a WrestleMania. No way. What I think WWE is doing, and there's a reason why Lashley has been absolutely booked as perfect as WWE could probably book anybody on Monday Night Raw. And it's not for Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was a fucking casualty in WWE's negligence here, creatively. They didn't book him this strong for Drew McIntyre. Are you fucking serious? WWE has booked Bobby Lashley the way that they have for the majority of the last year because of Brock Lesnar. I think WWE is waiting for Lesnar to come back. They're waiting on Lesnar's word for him to say, you know what, I want to do it. I'll be at WrestleMania. Let me go hunt some more deer first and fuck my wife. I'll be back. Have a couple of Coors Light, I'll be back. They didn't build Bobby Lashley up for Drew McIntyre. They did. They're building him up because they want that match with Brock Lesnar. And WWE's not going to give you Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar in a one-on-one match because Vince loves Bobby Lashley. Vince loves Brock Lesnar. And I think both guys' egos, if that is the one match, I cannot see either guy wanting to lose to the other. So what I think they do is I think they go, Bobby Lashley wins the WWE title. Drew McIntyre is the valiant babyface. He's got Sheamus to deal with. He might have Styles to deal with. Lesnar comes back, claims he wants the title back because he's fucking Brock Lesnar. You just build around all this insurmountable odds against Drew McIntyre. You have him get the big payoff at WrestleMania. You book McIntyre, Lashley, Lesnar at WrestleMania for the WWE title. At that same time, we get Lashley and Lesnar in a match together. They could fucking cause carnage. Drew McIntyre gets his big WrestleMania moment that he was supposed to have last year in front of fans, wins the title back, pins Bobby Lashley or pins Brock Lesnar, whoever they want him to go pin Bobby Lashley, because I can't see Lesnar losing again. Have him pin Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania, crown him the new WWE Champion a third time in 1 year, and then move on from this bullshit. That's exactly what I think they are going to do. That's WrestleMania. Lashley McIntyre on its own is not WrestleMania. So this is why I'm a little bit more at ease tonight with the entire Miz situation. Listen, the Miz is not going into WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. He's not. Now, I'll cycle back to this next week, and I might be thinking the same thing, but like I said, if WWE doesn't take this title off of him next week, they've royally fucked up. They've royally fucked up. I wouldn't have even put the title on him to begin with. But this is where we are. So now we have to come up with a plan fucking B, because WWE's perfect plan A, the road that I laid out for them, they clearly didn't do. So that's where I think we are going with all this nonsense. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That's my opening statement here about The Miz, the Elimination Chamber, WWE title, McIntyre, Lashley, and all that is revolving around this. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments section. Thank you so very much for joining me on the podcast tonight, man. We got a lot to go over. We got some news coming out of the chamber. We got the breakdown of the show. So it's going to be a good one. But I have some big news, man. I got some big news. Critiques and connoisseurs, man. I pinned something at the top of the chat. I just set up the official Critiques and Connoisseurs YouTube page. This is the project that I'm working on with Hodge, my boy Jason. It is a wrestling project, but it's also a lifestyle project. We're going to be talking about our favorite pro wrestlers, our favorite moments in pro wrestling. We're going to be talking about our favorite cold beverages, whether it's beer, liqueurs, spirits, whatever you have that is at the bar, man. We're going to be talking about it. And we're going to do it in a very classy way. It's going to be something completely different than what has been done in the entire community. Now, I got 2,200 people in the chat here. And I love every one of you guys, whether you love me or hate me. I love that you're here. I want you guys to go and click the link to the channel, and I want you guys to subscribe. The reason why I want you to subscribe is obviously I want you to support everything that I'm doing. But I also want to let it be known that YouTube, one of their criteria is for a new channel to get 1,000 subs. Now, I haven't had to go through this in quite some time, but 1,000 subs is one of the criteria. One of the other criteria is 4,000 hours watched, which we know is going to come in due time. But we might as well just nail out that 1,000 subscriber benchmark. So I would love if everybody in the chat here goes to subscribe to the Critiques and Connoisseurs, man. I left it at the top, pinned in the chat, and it's in the description right now. Go and subscribe. I want to see 1,000. We'll revisit this at the end of the show. I want to see 1,000 subscribers by the time I end this stream. So thank you guys very much. Debut episode is Sunday night. And we're going to be talking about Terramana Tequila and The Rock. It's going to be great. Follow me on social media, man, at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Thank you to all the people that have joined the army on Twitter. We are now over 31,000 on Twitter, man. I appreciate you guys very much. We are sponsored now by Advanced GG. So go check them out. You guys can actually use code SCRIPT30. That is at checkout for 30% off, man. If you guys are big into the video games like I am, and you really want that extra energy, and you really want that focus while you play, Advanced GG is the best, man. I'm telling you right now, I've been using them for 2 weeks. Listen, I drink so much coffee doesn't even work anymore, man. But this makes me feel on top of my game. Use code SCRIPT30 at checkout for 30% off this week only, man. So I appreciate that. And we are now adding Advanced GG to the family of sponsors here on Off the Script. Go and check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. That is linked down below. Hit that subscribe button down below. We just eclipsed 121,000 subscribers on YouTube and 31, like I said, on Twitter. So thank you to that. And if you guys want to go and support, you all know what to do. T-shirts, masks, Patreon, all that stuff is linked down below in the description of this very video, man. Let's start at the top. We're going to talk about the opening to Monday Night Raw. Obviously, The Miz started off as WWE Champion on Miz TV. I was really thinking to myself, I would have loved to see this with actual fans. Because I know a lot of people hated this creative decision. And knowing how The Miz gets under everybody's skin, I thought it would have been great to have fans there in attendance. So Miz proudly declared himself the WWE Champion, and he made fun of Batista. He made fun of Batista doing cop movies, buddy cop movies. He made fun of John Cena doing Experian commercials. He said all the titans of the past don't measure up to his longevity and star power and tenacious attitude. Miz told Edge, if he wants to play high-stakes poker, his profession or possession of the WWE title belt is his royal flush. He said he wasn't sneaky because he told Drew McIntyre exactly what his plan was going to be ahead of the Elimination Chamber. So Miz then claimed he was in the record books now, and his storied career would be a Jeopardy question. Miz said he was a two-time Grand Slam champion in WWE. The Miz is a two-time Grand Slam champion. He said he has held every title there is in the company on Raw multiple times. He says he's holding the title because he, and I quote, deserves it. I didn't ask for your respect. I demanded it. He was then interrupted by the Hurt Business and Bobby Lashley. So Lashley walked out. He looked like a fucking mobster killer, man, with that white suit he was wearing. He looked fantastic, did Bobby Lashley. MVP was walking out there with him, still with his crutch, limping from last week's injury in that six-man tag with the Lucha House Party and Matt Riddle. So MVP said he noticed The Miz left off the part where Lashley destroyed Drew McIntyre to make it possible for him to actually cash in the Money in the Bank contract at the Elimination Chamber. Miz said, listen, I was getting there. You rudely interrupted me. MVP obviously wasn't convinced at all. He knew Miz was bullshitting. Miz then congratulated them for a great night, but he told them that he and Morrison have a lot more celebrating to do, and they got a very busy schedule now. He's the WWE Champion, so I'll leave you guys to handle your business. We're going to go step out. We got a couple of things to take care of. So MVP said, listen, the business is not done here. You're not just going to walk away. MVP said, your man J-Mo cost him and Lashley the United States title. So Miz now has an obligation to make things right. He said Lashley helped him, so now Lashley is the first in line for the WWE title. Lashley said Miz owes him, and he is here to collect. So I like the fact that they went over exactly what they were talking about at the Elimination Chamber. If you guys watched on Sunday night, there was a little backstage camera shot of MVP discussing business with The Miz. That's exactly what he was talking about. MVP said, listen, your boy John Morrison was a direct factor in my guy losing the United States title. Now, I'm going to come to you with a plan. Now, being that happened earlier in the show, I know you got this briefcase. I know you've been eyeing that Drew McIntyre WWE title. What if, to, repay us for John Morrison doing what he did in the U.S. title match, what if I send Lashley out there to help you cash in successfully that briefcase? And when you do, Bobby Lashley's the first in line when you win that title to get a title shot against you as the new champion. Very simple. Very simple. I liked it. Very simple explanation of what happened. So Miz says he owes him a match, but he can't do it right away. He said he has talk shows, a reality show, Fastlane, WrestleMania. He said there are obligations to being WWE champion that MVP might not understand. So MVP said when he listed the Titans who don't measure up like Batista and John Cena and Big Show he mentioned, he had time to mention Lashley's name in that list as well. So Miz said, listen, you took what I said out of context. Lashley stepped up to the Miz and cut MVP off. He cut the Miz off, and he told him, listen, enough of this bullshit. You have 1 hour to come to your senses and give me what I want. He said if he doesn't come to his senses, he'll be starring in a new series called How Lashley Sent Miz to the Emergency Room. He said, one way or another, I'm going to beat the life out of you and take the WWE title. He said it will be painful, merciless, and that will be awesome. No more needs to be said. Miz is in deep shit. Miz is in deep shit. That title needs to come off the Miz next week. I explained everything I needed to explain to you in the open of this show. That's exactly how I would have it play out. It cannot exceed next week. So the premise of this show tonight was, is Miz going to give Bobby Lashley what he wants? And then obviously they threw a nice little screwball or a curveball in there in the middle of the show. So we'll talk about that as we get to it. Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle walked up to the Lucha house party with his newly won United States title. Riddle says he couldn't have done it without the two of them having his back. He talked about playing video games. He mentioned he was playing Warzone and he got his first victory in Warzone. And then he was talking about him going to the Gulag. I didn't know Matt Riddle was a Warzone guy, but fuck Warzone, man. I can't stand Warzone. Lince Dorado said he's talking about his U.S. title win, not a video game. Riddle went off on whatever the fuck he was talking about. He was talking about naming the eagle on his WWE United States title. Says he was going to name the eagle on the U.S. title Travis because he had a heavy metal friend named Travis. So Dorado then told Riddle, listen, you got a match coming up. You're on the wrong side of Tropicana Field. How are you going to get to the ring? Riddle then pulled out a portable scooter and said he was way ahead of them, and then he rolled away. Listen, man, I love Matt Riddle. I don't know why they got to make him into more of a comedy act than he really needs to be. But listen, he's the United States champion. Hopefully, WWE does right by this because they got a lot of heel opponents on this show to line up for Matt Riddle as the United States champion. They could do AJ Styles. They could do Keith Lee. They could do, I know Keith Lee's not a heel. I think that's the least of his concerns right now. But they got Sheamus. They got AJ Styles. They got Keith Lee. They got Ali. They got Ricochet. They got John Morrison. So they got a night. Jeff Hardy's another one. They got a nice list of opponents for Matt Riddle to run through. And they got a decent mid-card on this show. So hopefully WWE shows some love to the United States title feuds coming up, because it could really be fun with Matt Riddle as champion. So we got Riddle versus John Morrison. I know I pitched for this match on Sunday's podcast, on Sunday's live stream, because these two had a great match on SmackDown when Matt Riddle got drafted to SmackDown when he got called up from NXT. One of his first matches, obviously, was against AJ Styles, but they randomly put him on SmackDown when they were at the Performance Center, and they put him in the ring with John Morrison, and him and Morrison absolutely killed it. So much better than what they did tonight, but they work very well together, and I would not be opposed to seeing this more often. So we got Morrison in control of this. Riddle blocked a move, and Morrison was up on the second turnbuckle, gave Riddle a second rope Spanish fly. Riddle kicked out at 2. Riddle went for the bro to sleep, but Morrison avoided it, and they were jockeying for position here. Riddle landed a sunset flip, but Morrison fired back with a knee to the face. Riddle blocked a Morrison Starship Pain, and then he obviously took the Starship Pain attempt, did Riddle, and countered that into a Bro Derek for the 1-2-3. This was a non-title match, and Riddle wins in 11 minutes in this non-title match against John Morrison. Good stuff. Like I said, I think they work very well together, and I would say John Morrison needs to be on his own. John Morrison needs to be on his own. He needs to move away from The Miz, and I think if that is the case, we could see more of this type of stuff with guys like Matt Riddle and for championships instead of being The Miz's lackey. So we got Sarah Schreiber. She's backstage with Damian Priest and Bad Bunny. Now, Bad Bunny was holding the 24/7 title. As you guys know, he pinned Akira Tozawa last week on the show, and he said this is just the beginning for him. And by the way, folks, I seen a lot of people speculating that with The Miz winning the WWE title, that Vince is going to book Bad Bunny versus The Miz at WrestleMania for the WWE title. Please, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. I'll personally fly down to Tampa and burn the fucking stadium myself, okay? You guys ever watch fucking The Dark Knight Rises with Bane? You ever see the football scene? That's exactly what I'd do to fucking Tampa Bay, Raymond James Stadium, if that was the fucking title match for WrestleMania. Give me a break. So Bad Bunny says this is just the beginning. He said with Priest by his side, he'll have the 24/7 title for a long time. Priest then shouted at R-Truth in the corner. Now, I don't know what the fuck R-Truth was doing. I think he was trying to be inconspicuous here. He was trying to hide the referee that was there. He was talking to the referee. Then he was kind of like bodying the referee to hide the referee from Damien. I don't know why I found this so funny, but I was laughing my ass off at this. Not because R-Truth was doing what he was doing, but Damian Priest gave R-Truth such a natural reaction like, Truth, I could see you. What the fuck are you doing? I could see you right there with the referee. Like, you're not fooling me, man. So Priest told him, listen, don't play dumb with me. And Truth called Bad Bunny Bugs Bunny. And then Damian Priest got angry. And then Damian Priest got into Truth's face and said, listen, his name is Bad Bunny. And then R-Truth was like, oh, my bad, Bunny. I don't know why I found this so funny. This was one of the more funnier R-Truth skits that I've seen in recent weeks. I don't know why I found that so funny, but I thought that was great. So moving on from that, we got Miz backstage. He's now complaining to Adam Pearce. And he asked Adam Pearce if he's going to reward Lashley's behavior. Pearce asked if he really made a deal with Lashley. Miz says, listen, it wasn't in writing, though. So Miz says, listen, you should be on my side. Pearce said he heard what he had to say earlier, and he agrees with him that so many have doubted him, yet he stands there as the WWE Champion. He said there are no challengers bigger than Lashley. Miz says he wants the time to be right. If he wants to give Lashley the title match, or if he has to give Lashley the title match, he wants it to be right. Pearce said, I'll respect whatever decision you make, but listen, Miz, the time is ticking away. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, they were up next against Retribution, T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack. Reckoning was out there. Mia Yim was out there, but Keith Lee was not on the show tonight, so I'm assuming that it's not COVID-related. So we could probably X that off the list. So it's not COVID-related. If she's on the show and they live together and they're engaged, then it's not COVID-related. So it's either one of two things. Either WWE is fucking burying this guy or he's injured. And I'm not going with the injury. I think WWE is just, they're just completely out of touch with Keith Lee. WWE is also out of touch with this fucking feud, man. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods have been battling Retribution for every single week that we've been in 2021. It is absolutely fucking boring. We need to move on from this shit. I don't see the reason to drag this shit out any longer. I'm tired of the fucking tag team matches. Kofi was out all those weeks, and Xavier Woods ran the Retribution gauntlet minus Mia Yim. Now we got Kofi back, and they're right back to doing fucking tag team matches. Just give me Kofi versus Ali and tell that fucking story and move on from this, please. New Day wins in 3 minutes. This feud is not worth anybody's time if you're going to give me 3 minutes. At the end of the match, Ali was so upset that T-Bar and Mace lost. He said, listen, I carried you guys on my back and you fail me every single time and time again. So they stood in the ring, they were hanging their heads, they were upset. He walked away from everybody in Retribution. If this is the beginning of breaking these guys up and getting them back to their normal personas, then I'm all for it. This shit sucks. As soon as I hear that theme music at the PA system, all I think of is jobber. Dijakovic deserves better. Mia Yim deserves better. Ali deserves better. Shane Thorne should be back down in NXT. I haven't seen enough of Dio Madden. Just get rid of the fucking concept. Bruce failed Retribution. It is a complete and utter disaster. Hopefully this is the beginning of that. I can't stand it anymore. So we got Adam Pearce in the middle of the ring. He was there. He says he was going to respect any decision that The Miz was going to make, but the clock was ticking. So he's out there, and he called Lashley an MVP down to the ring because he wanted to be there, I guess, while he made his decision, did Lashley. So Lashley came out, and Pearce shook hands with Lashley. Miz made his way to the ring. Pearce said they made a deal, and Miz is obliged to announce his decision to Lashley tonight. Miz says he has decided that his decision is he needs more time. So Lashley told him to quit stalling and wasting his time. Miz says he's worried about the honor and respect of the WWE title, and he wants to treat it like it deserves to be treated. MVP gave Miz the what the fuck are you talking about look, man. Again, I LOL'd. I thought that was great. Miz said there are a lot of worthy challengers. For instance, he said Morrison is chomping at the bit for a title shot. Lashley said no other challengers had to deal with him. Just me and you. Miz says he deserves to have a chance at the title, but he wants it to be where he is at his best. The championship deserves that, he says. So, obviously, we see the games that The Miz is playing. Morrison says they just want 1 week. Oh, really? You want 1 week? You'll be ready in 1 week. Okay. So he asks Pearce to pencil it in for 1 week from tonight. Miz says that is what's going to be best for all parties. Then all of a sudden, Braun Strowman comes out. The Strowman Express has made a stop on Monday Night Raw. Whee! The Strowman Express is back. What's with the gloves, bro? What's with the gloves? Braun Strowman thought that adding cargo pants, a olive green t-shirt, muscle shirt, and carpenter gloves is going to change his gimmick so drastically that I'm not going to sit here and shit all over him. What are the gloves for, bro? You chopping wood for... wood? I know you're going to be chopping some wood for Kevin Dunn back there, man. That's what the gloves got to be for. Other than that, I don't know, what are you pulling out? Some pot pie that Titus has in the oven, bro? Those gloves are 500 degrees resistant in the oven? What's wrong? The fuck is this guy doing out here? Braun Strowman does not need to be involved in anything here. Go away. So Braun Strowman comes out. He says, if anyone's getting a title shot, it's him. Oh, really? Braun Strowman deserves a title shot. Bro, what do you think? You Bill Goldberg? What do you think? You Bill Goldberg, man? You show up on the show, you ask for a title shot, you're going to be like Bill and get a fucking title shot like that? Bill Goldberg's probably home watching this shit, fucking laughing his ass off at you. Ha 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 ha! I can do it, but you can't. Pierce said, listen, man, you can't interrupt the segment like this. Braun says he could do whatever he wants. He says it's clear Pierce and Shane McMahon have a vendetta against him. Listen, Braun, we already got Sami Zayn doing that shtick on SmackDown. We don't need it on Raw now. Please. Nobody's doing it better than Sami, okay? He said he is far more clarified than Bobby Lashley. Braun Strowman is far more clarified for this opportunity than Bobby Lashley. Now, I know what you're thinking. JD, did you fuck up there? Are you mixing up your words there, bro? No. That's exactly what Braun Strowman said. He says he's far more clarified. Now, again, I don't know what he meant here. Is he talking about clarified butter? Was he taking a baking class with Titus backstage where he had clarified butter on the mind? Or is it that you're far more qualified than Bobby Lashley, Mr. Braun Strowman? Maybe they don't have educational institutions where you reside. Maybe you should go back and fucking take part in a spelling bee instead of coming out saying you deserve a WWE title opportunity, Mr. Strowman. Where'd the Strowman Express stop? Monday Night Raw. Clearly you missed your fucking stop. You gotta go to a spelling bee. I'd pay to see some fucking 9-year-old girl just sit there and out fucking spell Braun Strowman on Monday night. That's exactly what I would love to see. Clarified. He's more clarified than Bobby Lashley. Yeah, this is the guy that came at me on Twitter and said, yeah, man, you sit in your mother's basement eating Hot Pockets all day long. At least I know the difference between clarified and qualified, you fucking geek. Miz asked Lashley if he's going to let Braun talk to him like that. MVP told Miz not to stir the pot. Shane McMahon then interrupted. Shane danced to the stage. He walked out. He was gassed when he got to the ring because of all the dancing. And Shane asked Pierce, man, what type of ship are you running around here? Says he needs to control things better. Shane was oddly just breathing heavy, right? Bro, you got to go back to the gym and work on your cardio, man. If you're going to be in a WrestleMania match with Braun Strowman, I don't want you winded after 30 seconds, okay? So Shane explained to Braun that the Elimination Chamber was a match constructed with all former WWE champions, not former Universal champions. So all of your bitching and complaining is falling on deaf ears here. He says this all sucks. Braun Strowman says all this sucks. I think Bobby Lashley sucks. I think The Miz sucks. I think John Morrison sucks. I think Adam Pearce sucks. This all sucks, he says. What about the creative on this show? I wish you'd go back to fucking Bruce Pritchard and say all that you said out here on this segment to Bruce Pritchard. Go into the fucking offices when they write this show. This show sucks. All this sucks. Your fucking definition of clarified sucks. Braun Strowman sucks. Your wrestling sucks. Your gimmick sucks. Every time you're on TV, it sucks. You got not the point. Said he wanted a WWE title opportunity tonight. Again, somewhere Bill Goldberg is laughing his fucking ass off. Shane then said, well, you want that? I think that idea sucks. So Braun then said, all right, I want a match against Lashley instead. And then Shane McMahon was like, you know what? I'd like to see that match. And then I'm on my couch and I'm like, no, I don't want to see that match. I don't think anybody wants to see that match. So then Shane says, we're going to make the match, and then we're going to add a nice little stipulation on top of it. He said if Braun was able to defeat Lashley tonight, then next week it'll be Braun versus Lashley versus The Miz for the WWE title in a triple threat match. Miz looked concerned. So Shane left the ring. Braun then turned his back. He was looking at Shane, and Lashley did a chop block from behind on Braun Strowman, and that was the way the segment ended. So Bobby Lashley said, this motherfucker got a match with me. I'm going to take him out before we even get there. Chop block to Braun Strowman. Took him out. And that was the segment. So I was worried that Braun Strowman being interjected here into the WWE title picture was going to fuck things up by the end of the show. I'm glad we did not get Braun Strowman anywhere near the WWE title. Lucha House Party. Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik versus Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Yet another rematch. How many times have we seen both of these teams wrestle each other on Monday night? But that's what happens when you have a dead tag team division, Bruce. Just like the women's divisions, let's merge the men's tag team divisions. Come on. How many fucking times can we see these two teams wrestle each other on this show? They're the only teams that exist on this show outside of the New Day. And nobody wants to see the New Day as tag team champions again. Texas Tornado tag team match. I love me a good Texas Tornado tag team match. Cedric and Shelton win here in about 6 minutes. Dorado delivered a DDT, and then Metalik splashed Cedric. So double team on Cedric. So they both piled on top of Shelton. And actually, no, it was on Shelton. I'm sorry. I'm the geek now. Got my notes mixed up. They both piled on top of Shelton for the cover, but Cedric broke up the pinfall. Dorado gave Cedric a head scissors off the top rope. Metalik then leapt off the top rope, but Shelton moved. Shelton and Cedric double-teamed Metalik, and Shelton finished him off with a pay dirt for the 1-2-3, and that was it. Again, a waste of time. Completely just was thrown on the show to fill 6-7 minutes because they had nothing else to put on, and that was it. It meant absolutely nothing. How many times can you beat the same fucking team over and over again and then look at yourself as a decent tag team champion? Jesus fucking Christ, get this division some more goddamn teams. I don't know who the fuck is watching this and say, yeah, man, I can't wait for another match between these two. All month. Moving on. We got Damien Priest with Bad Bunny versus Angel Garza. We'll talk about that in a second, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break, man. Talk about my sponsor for today's show. Check the chat going on. What's going on in the chat, guys? We got 2,000 deep in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here, man. 735 likes. Let's try for 1,000 before we get the hell out of here, man. How many of you guys shop online? Do you guys shop online? I know I do. I buy most of my my cat food and my cat's litter online. So much easier than going to the store, man. I don't think I've been to a store to actually buy anything in quite some time. But if you guys shop online, man, give me a 1 in the chat. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys shop online. If you do, I don't know why you're not using Honey. I know you guys love to save money. And Honey's the best way to do that, man. Thanks to Honey, they can manually search for coupon codes and save you a ton of money. Now, Honey is actually a free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one and automatically applies it to your cart. They support over 30,000 stores online. They range from sites that have computer tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands, even food delivery. Like I said, I shop for my cats online. It's so much easier and I save a ton of money instead of going to the store. Now, when you're at checkout, the Honey button drops down and all you guys have to do is click Apply Coupons. You wait a few seconds and Honey searches for coupons it finds online for that particular site, and that's it. The coupon's gonna work, and then you're gonna watch the prices drop. Just like Monday Night Raw ratings drop. You're gonna watch the prices drop on whatever you're shopping for online. Now, like I said, man, I buy all my computer stuff and all my gadgets online. I save money using Honey that way, but I also take care of both of my kittens using Honey, man. Their litter, their favorite foods, toys. I save so much money online, and that's what I regularly use Honey for, man. I take care of them. Now, Honey has found over 17 million members, over $2 billion in savings. That's like some Vince McMahon contract type of money there, man. It really is. And if you guys don't already have Honey, you're missing out on massive savings. It's free to download and it installs in seconds. And by getting it, you're doing not only yourself a favor, but you're supporting this very show, man. So I expect you guys to go and do that. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/offthescript. That's joinhoney.com/offthescript. Start saving some money today. I know Nightbot's been posting it in the live stream, so make sure you guys hit him up. He's got the link where you can go download the free browser, and I want to thank them for supporting the podcast right here on Off the Script. Hit that thumbs up, guys. We are at 800 likes. 200 more to go is the goal. Thank you guys so very much for joining me here on the show tonight and supporting, as always. I do have Raw news, man. I do have Raw news. Let me get into the Raw news. Got some news coming out of the Elimination Chamber. I got news on the WWE title match here. WWE keeping Keith Lee out of the triple threat. Let me go over this news very quickly. Now, the Elimination Chamber was on Sunday night. If you guys missed the live stream, you can go check it out. It's legitimately the last thing that you'll see on the channel, if you go to the channel. Now, Meltzer discussed just how late in the day WWE was actually working on getting the pay-per-view together. They had to figure out some big decisions before they could call it complete, and that came late in the afternoon. He says, and I quote, "On Sunday afternoon, when I was doing the update and I checked, and they were trying to figure out the card that afternoon, exactly what they were going to do with Keith Lee and Asuka was off, and you ended up with what you got on the pay-per-view." So WWE, they needed a replacement for Keith Lee, obviously, because you've seen what they did with Bobby Lashley and then the Miz's cash-in. And then WWE ended up pulling off the Elimination Chamber the best that they could with that situation and the cash-in. And then Asuka, she was actually reported to be defending the title at the show. And there were even announcements on the pre-show. There was a graphic on Twitter that Asuka would be defending the title on Sunday night. And then I think a half an hour before the show, they just scrapped the entire Raw Women's Championship match, and that was it. She was left off the show. And I don't think Asuka's defended the Raw Women's Championship on pay-per-view in the last 6 months, is what I've seen on Twitter tonight. That is absolutely egregious. That is disgusting. And I'm going to rant about that in just a second, because we're going to talk about Asuka and Charlotte Flair, because they had a tag team match on the show tonight. But WWE, I mean, they made such a big deal out of a pay-per-view that included 5 fucking matches. And they're making it some overwhelming fucking difficult task. Give me a break. I could have booked this show in my goddamn sleep, and they're worrying about Keith Lee and Asuka. And they couldn't get a fucking show together until 6 o'clock, 6:30. Please. WWE title match at WrestleMania. Obviously, you've seen what happened. We talked about it at the beginning of this show tonight. Most fans assumed The Miz wouldn't be defending the championship at WrestleMania 37 since plans call for him to be in another high-profile match. WrestleVotes reported on Monday that the plan right now is for Miz to not defend the WWE title at WrestleMania. That goes with what I just said. I gave you guys my idea, my plans, how I do it, what I think is best. I stand by everything I said in the beginning of the show. It was also noted that Bobby Lashley, who attacked McIntyre at Sunday's show, moments before The Miz cashed in, would be in the title match at WrestleMania. The report didn't state who Lashley would be facing at WrestleMania with the title on the line, but it appears to be McIntyre, although that is not confirmed. They said on Twitter, and I quote, "It's that time of year. Lots of misinformation between sources, which happens a lot around WrestleMania. However, from source, WWE title match, Miz is not scheduled to be involved. As of now, Bobby Lashley is." I'm thinking WWE's going Lashley, McIntyre, Lesnar. That's what I think they're going with. Now, if you guys remember, there were rumors very early on, before Keith Lee was buried, that WWE was contemplating, rumor-wise, McIntyre, Lee, and Lesnar. Maybe this is WWE's answer to those rumors. Maybe it's just changed a little bit. So we'll see what happens, man. I think that's the best way to go. If Lesnar is coming back, which I think he is, I think WWE is saving him for something. Where he shows up, when he shows up, I don't know. But I think that is the match instead of doing McIntyre-Lashley. That just doesn't speak WrestleMania to me. And then WWE. Why WWE kept triple threat format for the United States title match at the Elimination Chamber. As you guys know, you saw what happened in the main event. Dave Meltzer mentioned on the Observer Live that the decision to keep the triple threat format for the U.S. title, instead of just making it a singles match between Riddle and Lashley, was due to WWE to want to stick to the original plans of having a title change without Lashley taking the pinfall. I don't think anybody watching this show doesn't understand that. Lee's replacement could have been any wrestler, but it turned out to be Morrison. Now you know why they didn't do a singles match and why they were so adamant. Originally, Keith Lee was not in, but that just wouldn't work for what they were trying to do, so that's why they had to get Morrison in the match, or somebody. It could have been anybody. Could have been anyone in that third man spot, but they needed someone. So that's what WWE went and did, and that's the result of what happened coming out of the chamber. Not really all that difficult to figure out, guys, but those were some of the rumors and some of the news coming out of the Elimination Chamber. Now, moving on with the rest of the show, we are going into, if I can pull up my notes here, we are going into the second hour here. And after the tag team match, we got Damien Priest versus Angel Garza. This wasn't bad, but Angel Garza is another guy that deserves a lot better, man. Garza was so enamored with Bad Bunny during this entire match. He started yelling down at Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was just laughing him off, chewing down on his gum. Garza then grounded Priest with a camel clutch. Priest then mounted a comeback, avoided a spinning back elbow by Garza. He landed a high round kick to the head. Garza fell to the mat. Priest stomped the mat like he was going for one of HBK's signature super kicks, and he delivered a broken arrow for a 2 count. So Priest was up, and Bunny was on the outside laughing. Garza surprised Priest with a big clothesline, sending him over the top rope to the floor. Garza then had more words for Bad Bunny, so he pretty much was his own worst enemy here. Garza then invited Bad Bunny into the ring. Bunny climbed the stairs, taunted Garza as if he was going to get into the ring. He pointed behind him. Priest kicked Garza, landed a top rope spinning heel kick. Priest then yelled and finished Garza with his hit the lights finisher, which is nothing more than a crossroads. He changed the name of it. I believe it was called The Reckoning, but he changed the name now to, Tom Phillips said he calls this one Hit the Lights, which is a famous Metallica song off of Kill 'Em All. So I know Damien Priest is a big heavy metal guy. He probably got it from that. My favorite song off that album is The Four Horsemen, and that's my favorite Metallica song of all time. But I get the innuendo there, and I appreciate that. Hit the lights. 1, 2, 3. Garza was looking up at the lights on Monday Night Raw. Man, he deserves so much better. What happened to the entire Eva Marie rumor? You know, I don't want Eva Marie on Monday Night Raw, but if it's something that saves Garza on this show, I mean, let's get the redhead on the show. Because he ain't doing fucking anything. This guy is just as bad as Humberto on this show. Priest wins in 6 minutes. Rhea Ripley. She wasn't on the show, but she had a vignette. Rhea Ripley is coming to Monday Night's Raw. The announcers talked about how excited they are for the arrival of Rhea Ripley. Charlotte somewhere is drooling in the back over Rhea Ripley coming to Raw. Oh, look, a new dinner for me to feast on. Joe said what Ripley does to her opponents is what worst nightmares are made of. No, Joe, it's not Rhea Ripley and having anything to do with worst nightmares. What Bruce Pritchard does creatively on this show on Monday night are what worst nightmares are made of. Give me a break. So Rhea Ripley's coming to Monday Night Raw. I do think this is the best landing spot for her, but I see people on social media excited over Rhea Ripley coming to Raw. What exactly are you excited about? What are you excited about? You're excited Rhea Ripley's coming to Monday Night Raw. Great. Is she going to be the savior of the fucking division? With Rhea Ripley's arrival, the division is going to fucking turn over a new leaf and we're going to get a division that we all deserve? So Rhea Ripley's going to come to Monday Night Raw. What is she going to do? She's going to bury Mandy Rose. She's going to bury Peyton Royce. She's going to bury Dana Brooke, Lana, Naomi, right? And then what? She wins the title and then loses it to Charlotte Flair. Let me tell you something, guys. Rhea Ripley is not going to be this savior of the Raw Women's Division. You're going to need more than fucking Rhea Ripley to save the Monday Night Raw Women's Division. Give me a fucking break. What's going to save the goddamn division is by merging the divisions. Because whatever the fuck they're doing on this show with the women's division is absolutely embarrassing. This is the worst it's been since the Divas era. I don't believe I have to say that. And if nobody understands that or grasps that, then I don't know what the fuck you're watching. Rhea Ripley is not saving this show. She's got her own fucking things to worry about. Because whatever happened last year to Rhea Ripley, she's still feeling the effects of that today. Only to show back up on the same show with the one woman that beat her that shouldn't have at the top. It's going to be more than Rhea Ripley to save the Raw Women's Division. Randy Orton. Randy Orton was talking about failure. Just go look Bruce Pritchard in the eye. You'll be looking at failure. He says it's not a word he's familiar with. Bruce is very familiar with failure. I'll be looking at the ratings on Tuesday afternoon to see how terrible Monday Night Raw did. Says he finds himself surrounded by failure lately. He said winning the gauntlet match last week would have given him an advantage, but it turns out he was the first man eliminated in the chamber on Sunday night. He said every time he gets distracted by a problem, he takes care of it. He said when the Fiend became an issue, he took care of it. He set him on fire. So then they replayed Randy Orton setting the Fiend on fire 2 months ago at TLC. So the Fiend is no more, but some like to think he's coming back. But I'm here to tell you he's not coming back. He said he's now in limbo. He's unable to focus on the WWE title. He says it's because he is still distracted, but this time he is distracted by Alexa Bliss. So he started to cough. Then they replayed Bliss sitting in the pentagram last week where all the candles went out and WWE was throwing their satanic tendencies right in your face. Gotta love it. Right in plain sight. They're not even hiding it anymore. Hey, man, we're a Masonic company. We're a satanic company. Yeah, we're just going to put Alexa Bliss in a fucking pentagram with all the candles going out, creepy eyes and everything. Yeah, it's great. I wonder what God Vince McMahon prays to. Orton then gagged, and all of a sudden, he's coughing. And then all of a sudden, he coughs up black goo. He coughs up this black substance, and he's choking, and then he scours away. That's it. So I don't know what happened here. Alexa Bliss might have put a hex on him. Or maybe somewhere in the fucking venue, Papa Shango is residing. and he pulled a Papa Shango. I don't know. Randy Orton choked on black goo, and that's it. I don't know what's going on with this Fiend storyline. I don't know whether this is being saved for Fastlane or for WrestleMania, but I would actually have the Fiend stay out until WrestleMania. That's what I would do. I'm going to have Alexa and Randy somehow play up this storyline all the way up till WrestleMania, and then I would have the Fiend show up. I don't know how different he's going to look, whether he's going to be in a new costume or a new mask, or he's going to have a complete rebranding of the Fiend character. I don't know. I would save his reintroduction for WrestleMania. I do not have him show up at all on Raw until WrestleMania. And that's when you reintroduce Bray Wyatt. And then he beats Randy Orton, and then we can finally be done with this shit, and then WWE can start killing the new Fiend all over again like they did the old Fiend. So we got Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and Charlotte Flair. You know the black goo that Randy Orton was coughing up just moments ago? That's me every time I got to watch Charlotte Flair wrestle on Monday Night Raw. Charlotte and Asuka, this pairing is nauseating to watch. Every single tag team match that these two have been in have resulted in the same fucking sequences. Every single match. Asuka is the Raw Women's Champion, and Asuka is always the one who's being beaten down with Charlotte Flair making the hot tag. I don't get it. I really don't get it. First of all, you killed Asuka's run as the Raw Women's Champion. Becky Lynch is probably looking at herself like, what the fuck are they doing with that goddamn championship, man? Like, what are you doing? Every single match ends up being the same thing. Asuka gets beaten down, Charlotte to the save. Asuka's the Raw Women's Champion. Why isn't it the other way around, or at least 50-50? Why is it got to be Charlotte always saving Asuka? So Jax eventually powerbombs Charlotte for a near fall. I don't believe I actually got notes on this fucking thing. Why is this match even happening? I mean, give me a fucking break. Jax settled into a chin lock. So Charlotte was going tit for tat with Shayna Baszler. Then sunset flipped Jax into the corner, which looked fucking garbage. It looked so bad. Baszler climbed up top, tagged herself in. She knocked Asuka off the ring apron. Charlotte surprised Baszler with a figure four leg lock. Jax leg dropped Charlotte to stop her before she could bridge into the figure eight. What's with Nia Jax's leg drop, man? Does she know how to get any height on the fucking leg drop? What an awful looking leg drop, man. Maybe she should call the Hulkster up on how to do a perfectly executed leg drop. So she did the leg drop, and Asuka tagged in, caught Baszler with a top rope drop kick. Asuka sent Jax into Baszler in the corner. They delivered double knees and a running knee strike. She applied an armbar, but Baszler kicked her to break it up. Asuka got up and surprised Baszler with a Kinshasa attempt. Charlotte went for the save, but kicked Asuka by mistake. Baszler threw Charlotte out of the ring. Jax leg dropped Asuka and scored the 1, 2, 3, and that was it. So Charlotte fucked up, folks. She kicked Asuka by mistake. After the match, Charlotte walked over to Asuka to offer to help her up, and Asuka slapped her hand away. Bitch, get the fuck away from me. Enough of you. Go back and be your fucking android by yourself. I don't need you anymore. So Charlotte backed off. She was frustrated that Asuka did not want any help, and that Asuka didn't really embrace the fact that it was an accident. She thought it was done on purpose. So, after the match was over, we got Charlotte backstage with Ric Flair, her father. Charlotte told Ric Flair that she can't do this crap anymore. She said she wants to focus on pro wrestling. She says it's not funny for him to pretend that Lacey's baby is his. She said she's busting her ass to protect their legacy. She told her father, go home, please. Charlotte, honey, listen, I'm going to need you to go to Bruce's office and tell him to go home. Rick can stay. Bruce has got to go. Rick then said in a soft and respectful tone that he never said the baby was his. Thank God. We could put that fucking meme to bed. He said he saw a lot of potential in a genuinely good person in Lacey Evans. Charlotte says he sees good things in many blondes. So does Vince. He says he's doing this on her time. She's a co-worker, Charlotte said. Rick said he thought he could motivate her. He says he's pushed Charlotte a lot of his life. He says he had some part in Charlotte's success, not all of it, but some. And she's one of the greatest of all time. He said he gave her tough love and advice. He said everything they've done is real. He said he loves her and wants the best for her. I was trying to expand the brand, he said. Charlotte then was standing there listening to him, crying as usual. Flair was tearing up here as well. It's all they do, these Flairs, they cry. He said all he wants is their name to be a household name. Listen, Rick, it's already a household name. The Flair name is already a household name by what you've done solely. Not because of Charlotte. You've done what you needed to do to make that a household name. So I'm very confused by everything that's being said here. Charlotte says she doesn't see it that way. He said he sees that he's her biggest cheerleader, but on her time, he's stealing the spotlight. She said in the ring, it's time for her to prove that she's no longer Ric Flair's daughter, but she's Charlotte Flair. She told him to go home again. She said she is thankful for the doors he opened and all he has given her, but it's time for her to be in the spotlight. She said she loves him. She turned away and walked away, and Flair just stood there, sad. Folks, do you see what WWE is doing here? First of all, they had the incident with Asuka, and Asuka did not embrace Charlotte. She batted Charlotte's hand away, right? Kicked her in the face. Asuka didn't want anything to do with it. And now she's crying here, and WWE's trying to develop sympathy for Charlotte Flair. Listen, it's not going to work. It's not going to fucking work. You have a better chance of finding fucking life forms on goddamn Jupiter than you do developing sympathy from the audience on Charlotte Flair. Why do we need to be or feel sympathetic for Charlotte Flair? WWE has created a fucking universe where this woman has been handed legitimately every accolade under the sun and has buried divisions so far deep that WWE will never have them recovered. Yet I'm supposed to find sympathy for Charlotte Flair because, oh, daddy wants to expand the brand. Oh, daddy wants to meddle in some other blonde's affairs. Oh, daddy wants to claim that Lacey Evans' new baby is his. Or that he's getting involved and is still in the spotlight. Or she can't work because Rick is still trying to be the nature boy. Are you fucking serious? You want me to have sympathy for Charlotte Flair when realistically, Charlotte Flair hasn't had 1 ounce of fucking sympathy for the multiple divisions that she's buried. This storyline is fucking nauseating trash. Give me a break. Do you know who I have sympathy for? Asuka. That's who I have sympathy for. The woman's been Raw Women's Champion since last April, and you've buried her in the last 6 months. That's who I have sympathy for, not fucking Charlotte Flair. Not one title defense on pay-per-view in the last 6 months. That woman showed up at the PC and did everything that she was told in the middle of a goddamn pandemic. That woman with Sasha and Bayley carried those shows on her fucking back. And you want me to have sympathy for Charlotte Flair? This company is out of their fucking mind. Charlotte Flair is out of her fucking mind. This shit sucks. This shit sucks. Now Asuka is in a situation where she is so devalued that you're bringing up Rhea Ripley and everyone's already calling for Rhea Ripley without having one fucking match to take the title off Asuka. People are asking for Becky to come back and take the title from Asuka. This is what you do to repay Asuka? No, but you want me to have sympathy for Charlotte Flair because, the blonde can't work. She's so enamored with everything else going on around her. If you're the greatest of all time, you wouldn't let that shit bother you. But you're not. I see this through 2020 vision, folks. Now, if you have sympathy for Charlotte, you may be as dumb as Bruce writing this show and this segment. WWE's really, really trying hard with this one, man. That's the one I have sympathy for, Asuka. I have sympathy for Asuka because look at the way you've treated her. And if this is a pro wrestling angle, my God, man, go back to 2014 and feel what you felt when Daniel Bryan was being buried by management, man. How many of you felt the pain of Daniel Bryan because you've been through the same fucking thing at your real life job that he was going through on TV in a scripted wrestling storyline? That's who you have sympathy for, not Charlotte Flair. Unreal. Fucking ridiculous, man. Please. What a fucking trash program. Naomi and Lana versus Mandy Rose and catering, 2 minutes. Naomi and catering, whatever. They're all fucking catering. Naomi and Lana win in 2 minutes. Who gives a fuck? Really? Why was this on the goddamn show? AJ Styles versus Ricochet. We got AJ Styles and Ricochet on Monday Night Raw, and they don't go more than 3 minutes. You're really trying to piss me the fuck off. How many times does Ricochet have to lose to AJ Styles for everybody to realize that this guy is a fucking loser in the eyes of Vince McMahon? Absolutely ridiculous that Ricochet has been reduced to what he is on this show. 3 minutes, Styles clash, and that's it. Even after the match, almost gave him a fucking chokeslam. Almost gave him a chokeslam. The guy probably can't even spell wrestling, and this guy is burying Ricochet with a chokeslam. Was it needed? Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. Probably the best fucking match on the show outside Riddle and Morrison. They beat the shit out of each other. Sheamus wins in 10 minutes. Sheamus landed a knee lift and a bro kick for the win. Every single match on this show was a fucking rematch. Everyone. Every match. How many times did we see Sheamus and Jeff Hardy on SmackDown last year with Sheamus calling Jeff Hardy a junkie? Piss tests and fucking teasing him with alcohol. Now we're seeing it again. Why? Because they were both in the chamber? Oh, this is fresh, says Bruce. What, like urine? Like the urine that Jeff threw in Sheamus' face? Fresh? Strowman and Lashley. Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley, winner here. Obviously, if Braun wins, he enters the title match next week. If Lashley wins, Braun Strowman could go kick rocks. Lashley wins in 5 minutes. There was a situation in this match where Lashley kicked Braun's left leg. He then gave Braun a flatliner for a 2 count. Lashley waited for Braun to get to his feet. He tried to apply the hurt lock, but Braun elbowed himself out of it. Lashley kicked him, went for a superplex, and Braun powered out of the suplex. Lashley got him up about 75%. And then he nailed Lashley with a clothesline to the chest to take him down. Braun Strowman power slammed Lashley in what I thought was the ending of the match. But Lashley kicked out of the power slam, so he was wide-eyed. Miz was on commentary. He was stunned. Can you believe that just happened? Said Tom Phillips I never seen anyone kick out of Braun Strowman's power slam. I didn't know his power slams were fucking end-all be-all. It's a fucking power slam. He went for a second power slam, but Lashley escaped, went for the spine buster, delivered a spine buster to Strowman. Lashley then hit a very sloppy spear on Braun Strowman and made the 1, 2, 3. Braun kicked out right after the 3 was made. Miz looked on, and he seen his life flash before his eyes. Lashley is getting the title shot on his own on next week's show, and that is the main event. Lashley versus Miz for the WWE title. Lashley went after Braun's leg. He put Braun in the Hurt Lock after the match was over. MVP stood on the apron. He tossed Strowman down, did Lashley. Miz ran into the ring and charged at Lashley with the belt. Lashley ducked and gave Miz a spine buster and then a spear, and that was it. Commentary sold it like we're seeing a new WWE Champion next week, and if we don't, WWE is absolutely out of their fucking minds. Absolutely out of their minds. No mention of Drew McIntyre. No sighting of Drew McIntyre. I don't know what the fuck is happening with Drew McIntyre, but I said in the beginning of the show, I'm going to say it again, I hope to God he does not show up for that match next week. I don't need him helping Lashley beat The Miz, and I don't need him going after Lashley, giving The Miz either a win or him retaining the title. McIntyre needs to stay the fuck away, okay? Stay home. Nobody needs you. This show was fucking awful. Everything was a goddamn fucking rematch. There's no creativity on this show. There's nothing new here. After the Miz segment, this show was absolutely fucking unbearable to watch. I hope they have the worst rating of the year tomorrow. Hopefully people are just as smart as me when watching this show, realizing that this show is a complete and utter waste of their fucking time. Thank you guys for joining me on the podcast. We actually have 2,200 people still in the chat. Awesome. Super chats are open, guys. Super chats are open, so get them on in, man. Get them on in. We're going to read some super chats and hang out for a little bit. I want to see how many people subscribe to the CNC, bro. How many people have subscribed to the CNC? We got an update. Let me see. I want to see what's going on, man. You guys gotta sign up. $804. Guys, we got 196 to go. Come on, man. 196 to go, man, before we get out of here. Come on. I appreciate you guys so much, man. I know that was about 500 or so. We got a nice little solid 300 signing up and subscribing to the channel. Go and sign up, man. Debut episode is coming on Sunday. Help me and Hodge get to that 1,000 limit, man. I'm telling you, you're not gonna want to miss the debut episode, man. You're gonna watch episode 1, you're gonna stick around. I'm telling you right now. Go check out the sponsor for today's show, man. Number 1, Advanced GG. Go check them out. Go to the website, use code SCRIPT30 for 30% off. Excellent stuff, man. Not only helps you with your gaming, focus on your gaming. Natural vitamins that you need every single day. It's even good for your pre-workout, man. If you guys go to the gym, it's great for your pre-workout as well. So go check that out, Advanced GG. Joinhoney.com/offthescript for you guys saving money. Download the browser and follow me on social media, man, at JDfromNY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. And hit that subscribe button, not only for the CNC, but hit that subscribe button down below and join the OTS family, man. We are 121,000 strong. in the Wyatt family, and you tried to tell that story all over again. No. I want fresh, new, innovative ideas, not the same old shit that we seen years ago. Brendan Borgs, $4.99. I'm sorry, but The Miz is the right WWE champion. He deserves it. Drew is a bore. Rant on me all you want. I don't care. Also, Charlotte is greater than Rhea. Brandon, take your $5 and shove it up your fucking pee hole, bro. You are a complete goon. The Miz is the right WWE champion. He deserves it, bro. You know who deserves it? Everybody else that's been fucking busting their ass on this show and has been buried by management. The Miz doesn't deserve it. He's a fucking comedy geek. Guy probably has the worst win-loss record in WWE in the last 10 years. You want to give him a WWE title on the road to WrestleMania, bro? Did nothing I say resonate with you? Whoa, what am I speaking to, the fucking wall? Thank Christ you ain't running a fucking wrestling company. If you think The Miz, out of everybody on that fucking show, needs to be WWE champion on the road to WrestleMania, my God, man, you'd be running a fucking sinking ship. Fuck out of here, man. Charlotte sucks. And so does Rhea. But Charlotte is fucking garbage. Everybody that rants on Charlotte about how she's the greatest of all time. Overhyped trash. Fuck out of here, man. I'd take fucking Casey Catanzaro in NXT over fucking Charlotte Flair. Sasha is so much better than Charlotte Flair, man. Give me a break. Charlotte is the worst of the horsewomen. Becky, Charlotte, and Bayley. Becky, Sasha, and Bayley. All leagues ahead of Charlotte. Coiled Phoenix, 713. Hey, JD, I absolutely love you and what you do with your podcast. How you express yourself and how you just say what's on your mind is amazing. Yo, Coiled Phoenix, thank you. The type of fucking comments I like to see, not the fucking fact that The Miz is goddamn champion. He deserves it. Holy shit. You know what, Jesse? That's a pretty good fucking idea, man. For only $5, you could buy your very own rant. Easy Cooking with Aaron, $3.99. Just a little thank you. Appreciate you, man. Yo, bro, what's cooking in the kitchen? Timeli, $9.99. JD, have you watched the Sasha Banks interview with Austin on Broken Skulls? Not yet. I thought it was fantastic. It was a great episode. Much love, brother. Cheers. Have not watched it yet, man. This week for sure. Paul Jackson with a $5 super chat. Brock is coming back. We're getting Brock versus Lashley for the WWE title at Mania. Then what exactly is Drew McIntyre doing? What is Drew McIntyre doing at WrestleMania? Triple threat is the way to go. JD Ultra, $9.99. Do you think they have anything planned for The Fiend at WrestleMania? If so, explain. If you haven't, I got kind of late to the show. Keep doing your thing, but I got nothing but respect. JD. From one JD to another. I don't give a fuck about The Fiend. I think The Fiend is utter trash. And if The Fiend is doing anything at WrestleMania, it's probably against Randy Orton, but I would not have him show up until Mania. Jericho8131 with a $10 super chat. Charlotte, as a sympathetic face, didn't work when they did it with Becky, so why would they think it's going to work now against Asuka? The Charlotte agenda is more sickening than the 6 years of Roman. Absolutely. Charlotte is not even in the same fucking, on the same planet, in the same area code, in the same city, in the same state, in the same fucking time zone, in the same dimension. She's never going to be a Roman Reigns for the women. Roman makes everybody better. Charlotte makes everybody worse. Break up Google now with a $5 super chat. Lashley will win. Edgar Estrada with a $5 super chat. Yo, can you do a rant on Jesse? Can I push the dump button on him this Wednesday? OTS forever. Listen, Jesse, when I get back out to Chicago and we go to some wrestling conventions and we hang out, have a couple of drinks, this guy is going to get so fucking fucked up from Thunder Rosa, man. Thunder Rosa is going to bitch slap this guy right in the face. I'm going to sit there, film it all for you guys. I'm going to be fucking laughing my ass off. Okay? And then I'm going to fucking point my finger at him. I'm like, bro, why aren't you at my level in Destiny, man? I can't fucking raid with you, you fucking geek. You're over here wearing blue items. I need yellows and purples, geek. I can't have this weak garbage in my clan. Montrell. $2 super chat. Keep telling people what they don't want to hear. You know it, brother. Rain Entertainment with a $4.99 super chat. A user on Reddit said Charlotte's twins can make the 205 cruiserweight limit. Why is the community like this? Listen, Rain, her twins actually are a lot smaller than they used to be. To be fair, Charlotte looks better than she did the last two times she went out. Gerald Cormier, $5 super chat. Like I said earlier, I don't know what I was watching tonight. Also, thanks for fixing WrestleMania. Thank you for listening. $4.99. Chris, what's up, JD and the OTS fam? I never subbed to the CNC faster than ever before today. Can't wait for episode 1. It's gonna be great, man. CJ Voorhees, 93, $2 super chat. Also, the new Miles Kennedy song is killer. Indeed, it is, man. I can't wait for his new album on May 14th. Break up Google now with a $5 super chat. We both know WWE is boring and stale. That's why Sheamus vs. Drew. They're creatively bankrupt. No, thank you. Jericho, 8131 with a $5 super chat. Miz should have been WWE Champion between 16 and 18. When his in-ring work and mic work was at its peak. 2020 Miz as champion is excruciatingly dreadful. Raging Girl Gamer with $10 super chat. The Miz becoming champion was the best decision WWE's made, and Charlotte Flair and Ric Flair had me teary-eyed. Rage wants to be dumped just like Jesse does, I see. Ha ha ha, yeah, you got me. Wrestle Planet, $2 super chat. What is your preferred WWE title match at WrestleMania? Drew McIntyre versus Edge. It's the way it should have been. With Bryan getting reigns. Simple. The Shedded, $5 Canadian. JD, I am the same as you. I'll be real. I can't watch WWE since all these years of Cena's 5 moves of doom. Thank God for AEW. Cena's not that bad, bro. Cena aged like fine wine, dude. Cena was very tolerable in his later years. Sean Planet Stasiak with a $1.99 super chat. Why don't you want Sheamus as world champ again? Because Sheamus is not a main event guy. He's like Randy Orton. You can only take so much of him at the top. It'll be good for about 3 weeks, and then we'll all get bored of it. Ellie Tex Gaming 02 with a $2 super chat. AJ Styles seems directionless for Mania. Any ideas? He certainly looks strong. He looked strong in the chamber. He looked dominant tonight. They may be setting him up for Triple H. See what happens. I know he wants that match with Triple H. And Rain Entertainment. I know you are the beer man, but what about the leaf fluttering in the wind? What the fuck does that mean? The leaf fluttering in the wind? No, I don't puff the magic dragon, man. That was never my thing. Yo, Jay Carlos is dropping a 50 bomb over here, man. As soon as I turned Pilot on, this guy wants to drop 50 bomb, man. Thank you for your hard work and dedication, bro. Thank you, Jay Carlos. You're a fucking beast, man. Gerald Cormier with a $5 super chat. Do you see anyone rising up to contest Roman? No! Roman doesn't deserve to be contested right now. I just said I don't puff the magic dragon. What the fuck do you guys not understand? I don't smoke weed, okay? Can you imagine if I did? This show would be a lot worse. And not in a good way. Guys, I'm about to get out of here, man. If I don't see 1,000 before I wake up in the morning on CNC, man, I'm going to be very disappointed. Go and subscribe to the CNC, man. It's in the description. Go and check it out. Go and subscribe. We got episode 1 coming, man. You're not going to want to miss it. Edgar Estrada with a 20 bomb. Love you. Great rant on that jackass from Chicago. Love you, bro. Love you too, Edgar. Thank you, man. Look at him. I don't smoke at all. I never smoked a cigarette in my entire life. And it will be that way till the day I die. Anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here, man. Hit that subscribe button on both this channel and the CNC. Follow me on Twitter at JDfromNY206. Twitter and Instagram. Advanced GG, script 30 for 30% off. And joinhoney.com/off the script, man. Support the sponsors. I'm getting out of here, man. Getting in the Mustang. Windows are down. I want to see everybody turning that music volume up to max. Give me those guitar emojis in the chat. You know what time it is, guys. I'll see you guys on Wednesday night with Jesse for AEW Dynamite. Thank you for everything tonight. And I'll see you later, guys.